Hello, I'm Eric.
And I'm Melissa.
And today we're going to talk about how we prepare for the Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
Yay!
It's coming up in about a week. This will be the 6th year that we've attended.
Wow.
And in the 5 previous years, we've kind of come up with a checklist of the things that we put together to prepare for the 2 or now 3-day extravaganza that is the Retro Gaming Expo. So we'll start with the essentials.
Yes.
At the very minimum,
you gotta have a ticket.
You gotta have your ticket, You gotta have your pass. Portland always offers a discount if you pre-buy them. So go ahead and pre-buy them, pick up your pass at the window.
Yep.
And make sure you bring it on the 2nd and 3rd day.
Yep, we usually get it Friday night.
Yep,
so
Friday.
We always have to remember it on Saturday and Sunday.
So yeah, you definitely need your pass.
Yeah, okay.
In addition to the pass, I would say one absolutely essential thing is, because Portland has such a massive vendor floor, is you gotta bring cash. They do have ATMs, but I don't trust them not to run out.
I know somebody who went and they ran out of money one time. The ATMs ran out of money.
You don't want to be running out of money when you've got, I don't know, that holy grail sitting there on the vendor floor waiting for you.
You found the honey hole.
So a lot of, I think vendors will take,
they'll take cards.
They'll take cards or PayPal, but you wave a couple of bills in front of them, got yourself a little bit negotiating.
That's right.
So bring some cash.
Right here.
I got cash in hand.
Yes.
Boom. Okay. So next we have.
Next, you gotta make sure you have an extra battery pack or charger for your phone.
Bring something to charge your phones, right?
Yes. I used to be the charger, but now we have battery packs, and so that's going to be much more helpful this year.
Yeah. It keeps you from having to stay off the floor, stay out of the panels while you're charging.
Exactly.
You get one of these, you're good to go all day. A lot of people I know use their phones for their wish lists. They use it for paying. You definitely don't want to be running out of power while you're there, and there are outlets. Yeah. But you never know. Maybe
then you're stuck to the outlet.
There's like 1,000 people or something at this thing. You never know if you're going to get an outlet. So make sure you have a way, at least maybe a battery pack or a way to charge your phone. Keep that thing juiced up.
That's right.
All right. Speaking of keeping your phone juiced up, how about yourself juiced up?
Yes. So usually we don't like stop for lunch or anything.
No time.
No time. And I don't know about the food inside there. It's not. You don't want that. So we just bring a bunch of snacks. We've got Gatorade because we're
something to drink.
We're walking around a lot. Or we usually bring a bottle of water too. And then just a variety of snacks. A lot of times I'll do Mott's, or I'll do a trail mix.
Oh, trail mix,
like, peanuts, raisins, chocolate chips. I'll make my own trail mix.
I like these because they're kind of dense. Yeah. Like one packet of these makes, I feel like I'm full. Yeah. So that'll keep you from feeling too hungry. Yeah. Otherwise, chips, cookies.
Something to fuel us. Sometimes I do like a little, you can buy like little hummus and pretzel packs. Yeah. Yeah, and there's Lunchables or other things that we've done. So you can do that. Just little snacks that you can eat with your fingers or whatever. Just sit down in a corner, find it. Of course, if you're going to eat there and you're going to be meeting a bunch of people, wet ones, hand wipes. Yeah. Now there are restrooms there, right? But I don't have time for restrooms. You don't have time. Gotta get going. There's a lot of floor to get to. So I also bring hand sanitizer too. Hand sanitizer. I do both. All right, and then let's talk about these. One other thing that I think people forget: lots of celebrities come to these things. YouTubers, developers, book authors, all kinds of things. Bring a couple of pens. I got a pen. I bring a couple of Sharpies for autographs. Colors, silver, black. So, right? If you want to do autographs, pens in case you need to take down, I don't know, a number. You never know. Write something down for later use. Number you might get. Yeah. All right. pick up some chicks. All right. So that is sort of the non-gaming stuff. But now we have some recommendations for gaming items that you should bring along. Why don't we start with these. Okay. So 3DSs. Yes. Why do we bring 3DSs? Well, it's not as big a deal as it used to be. Right. But turns out when you have 1,000 gamers or whatever in a room, if you like doing, Street Pass? Yeah, that's picking up those puzzle pieces, doing the Street Pass game, you're going to meet hundreds and hundreds of people a day. So we used to have this thing on.
when we had some downtime, maybe before a panel started or whatever, we're waiting in line, we'd go through them, play some of that. But the other reason to bring a 3DS is because if you buy any 3DS games, you can immediately check it out. Yep. And that's actually why I also bring a Game Boy Advance SP. Now, I bring my Princess Peach one because no one is going to confuse this with one that they're selling. So they know this is mine. Yeah. So I use it to test Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance specifically, you know, games with batteries in them. A lot of Pokemon games, you know, you want to make sure they still work. Check them out in here. And in fact, I'd recommend bringing any portable system. I've wanted to get a Nomad so I could check out Genesis games, but this will allow you to check the games out right at the booth. And I've asked, vendors don't have any problem. I say, hey, look, I'm going to pop this in my little goofy Game Boy here. No problem. And I've actually walked away from a couple of games that didn't work.
That didn't work, yeah.
Speaking of testing games, I always bring some of my specialty screwdrivers with. This is a I don't know what you call it. It's like a triangle. It's like a Phillips, but with 3. This is used for opening, I don't even know what. Some Nintendo cartridges, I think, or maybe Game Boy cartridges. Something. I've used that. And then you've got these Game Bit ones. I've got both sizes. And I don't know what the sizes are. I should have looked them up. But one of them is used for opening NES cartridges. One of them is used for opening Genesis, Super Nintendo, whatever. So these things can be useful if you're getting that copy of Earthbound or Little Samson or something. You want to make sure it's not a repro. You got your bits, you got your thing. Just open them up. Ask the vendors before you do that. But if they're legit, they'll probably let you do it. Yeah. So I always carry these along with me just in case. I don't think I've ever cracked open a cartridge on the floor.
No.
But I bring them with anyway. And then another thing I bring with for the games, and this is something new in maybe the last 2 years, is I've started to bring a variety of plastic protectors. Not all games. Some of the high-end, the vendors with high-end games, they'll have them, right? But I bring, some bags that I got in previous years for manuals to protect manuals. I have some of these plastic things, to protect Game Boy cases, Super Nintendo cases, or boxes. Some of the cardboard boxes that don't get crushed. I think I have one for an NES cartridge. I don't know where it is. You put an NES cartridge in there, if you get something valuable, you don't want to scratch the label up. So I bring these plastic cases to protect those high value games from getting damaged. Because
where do we put them?
You got to carry all this stuff around, right? So where do we put them?
You don't want them to get crushed because you got to carry around your backpack.
We've been using backpacks every time.
Yep.
I keep all of this stuff in there in one pocket. I put the games in a different pocket.
Yep.
My protectors, but I don't want them jostling around.
Yep.
So that's what the protectors are for. Screwdrivers, Game Boys are in here. The power supplies and stuff are in here. Definitely want to have one of these. You don't want to be running around. You want to carry your goodies around. Carry your goodies around. And then one thing that I do, I think this would apply. We are able to drive.
Yes.
But even for people who are able to fly, I always make sure I've got a couple of assorted boxes in the car. So that way when the backpack gets full, stick them in the car. You could tape them up. They're in a smaller contained area, a little bit protected. They won't jostle around. I like to, even when I fly, like when we flew to Game On Expo, I brought some trades in a box like this and then used the box to carry my stuff back. Protects it, keeps it limited. Yeah, keeps the damage scope to a minimum. So yeah, definitely put some cardboard boxes in your trunk or in your luggage. Okay, so is that everything?
I think so.
Okay.
Except for this.
Except for this. So now we're actually going to segue into the games. One of the things that we do, or I do, leading up to it, and this often takes a week or 2 weeks of preparation, is my list. Now, some of you may use your phone, which is fine. Refer back to making sure the thing is charged. In the event that there is a total outage, we can't afford to waste a PRGE with a phone that's no good. I actually print out everything. And some of the vendors even ask, and I say, yeah, here, you can look through it. It's like 13 pages long, by all means. But I have my little printout here. and I prepare the prices, you know, the market prices, what I want. I can scratch off the games as I get them. That helps me not buy duplicates, which has happened and still happens.
Still happens, though.
No system's flawless, but get your wish list ready.
Yep.
So I print mine out.
Yeah.
And then I can write down notes on this paper. I happen to have the paper with me. I can write down what I paid. I can write down what they were asking. This is information I enter in my spreadsheet. All kinds of good stuff. Having a couple pieces of paper and some pens.
Well, and then too, like my brother comes along, so that way too we can kind of keep track. Okay, this is my brother's stuff, and this is what he paid. And if he pays for it, and he bought something for us, then we know how much we owe him.
Yeah. There's a lot of record keeping. That's our system. So this is my list. This is from, I think, Game On, but it's a huge list. There's, like I said, it's got to be 13 pages, but we always or often have done a top 5.
Yes.
And I know our friend Musty Hobbit just did a top 5, and we've done a top 5 in the past, but we've never sort of announced it ahead of time. So we thought it'd be fun if we sort of talked about the top things. I said top 5, but it doesn't have to be 5.
Right.
The top things that we're looking for at PRGE this year.
Okay.
So do you want me to go and then you go, or do you want to just go?
I'll just go.
Okay.
I don't have a lot, so I'm still looking for my one game. Touch the Dead.
Touch the Dead.
For the DS.
Most people don't know about this game, so tell us about it.
My sister found it. Was it Game Crazy where she bought her DS?
Yeah, Hollywood Video, Game Crazy, yeah.
Okay. She bought her DS and she bought this game because it was zombies, you know, and she likes zombies and stuff. And it's a really cool, you know, kind of like a House of the Dead-ish kind of thing where you like touch the screen.
Yeah, you touch them. It's like a shooting game, but with a
to get rid of them. So it's a really cool game, and I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool game, and now I can't find it anywhere.
We never see it.
So I'm still trying to look for it. Maybe I'll see her like at Christmas time, so maybe I'll try to see if she wants to give it to me, because I've asked her before, and she's like, no.
We've looked
she
for
likes
it.
So
we've looked for it at a lot of expos.
Yes, we have.
Game On, Midwest, Swap Meets,
and I think I looked last year for it at PRGE, so we'll see. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I know I can find it on eBay, but it's kind of more fun finding it at an expo.
Yeah.
One other thing I'd like to look for, but I probably won't buy unless it's like brand new and it's not super duper expensive, is the Splatoon 2 Pro Controller.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, but you know I don't want to buy a used one, so.
Well.
I know. I've got like dreams.
All right. Well, hey, if anybody out there is watching this, got a Splatoon 2 Pro Controller.
Yeah. So that's it. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. Okay, and as for me, these are games that have been on my wish list for a while.
Ooh.
But I haven't been able to get them, and the longer I try to get them, and the longer I don't, the higher they bubble up. They start to bubble up onto my list. So one of them is one I walked away from, I think, a year or two ago, and that, and I think is probably my #1 game now, and that is Die Hard Arcade for the Sega Saturn. I saw it, I walked away from it, we saw it at Game On Expo, I didn't like the condition or I didn't like the price, so it's bubbling up to the top. I definitely want to get this. I think there's a sort of pseudo-sequel or something for the Dreamcast. I'd be interested in that too. I have to look up the name. I think it might be Dynamite Cop or something, or I can't remember exactly what it's called, but definitely looking into something like that.
Okay.
The next one, another one that I'm looking for is Thunder Force 5. Now this one has actually been on my list for a while. I knew about this from back in the day, actually. My buddy had it, and I'm kind of a fan of the Thunder Force series. Now that I have Thunder Force 2, 3, and 4, I got 4 last year at PRGE. 5 is kind of bubbled up. And in fact, I saw a copy last PRGE, but it was on the second day. I didn't quite have enough money. I didn't want to spend that much, and when I went back, I was like, I thought about when I went back, it had been sold. So I definitely want to look for Thunder Force 5. That's definitely bubbled to the top for the PlayStation. Next is one that's been on my list for a long time. Also, that I'm not as expensive, but still, I think it's pricey for an Atari game. It's more than I normally pay for Atari games, and that's Ghostbusters. And I'd like to get the black labeled one with the Ghostbusters icon, not any re-releases. So I don't see it very often. When I have seen it, it's been like $10, and at that time I didn't want to pay for it. But that's the version that we grew up playing, and so it's been on my wish list long enough that I'm kind of bumping it up.
And you've got a little nostalgia for it, so it makes it kind of worth more.
So and I'm looking for Atari games generally. So, but this is definitely one. One year we got Pitfall 2. That was really high on my list. Now it's going to be Ghostbusters. Yeah. And then where are we? So is that 3? Okay. So then 1. This shouldn't be hard to find at all. But I've looked for it the last couple of expos we've gone to, and I either found a crummy copy or didn't see it at all. And that's Star Soldier. Star Soldier for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Just to shoot them up. I have some of the other ones like Star Force, Starship Hector. I think those are related tangentially. I don't have Star Soldier though, and I've been looking for it and I can't find it, so I definitely want to add that to the collection. And that segues actually into sort of the next thing, which is that game I believe is published by Taxan. Okay. And one of the things that I know I've done in the past with 10 Gang games, our friend Musty Hobbit is doing it with some Milton Bradley games, and that's we kind of collect for certain publishers. And Taxan is actually a publisher I've always kind of been interested in. They have 8 Eyes, which is a game that I personally really like, and Star Soldier is another one, and another one that my buddy had back in the day is G.I. Joe. And so I'm thinking of, so I'm going to just say generally sort of some Taxan games. I think that's a publisher I'd like to collect for. I think they're kind of a minor publisher. People don't really pay too much attention to them, maybe other than the G.I. Joe game. So I might, if I can find some Taxan games, I might. I know there's a few more. I got to get the list together, but I'd definitely be interested in maybe getting G.I. Joe. Definitely Star Soldier. And there's another publisher I'll mention. We're kind of off the top 5 now. Is Sunsoft. That's another company I wouldn't mind getting some more games for. So those are sort of the top things. And of course, I'm not going to hold. Those are the top. I'll be buying other stuff. There's all kinds of other stuff that I want. Of course, NES games,
13 pages
any Sega Master System games, sure. There's a couple of Amiibos out there I wouldn't mind seeing. If they have them, I wouldn't mind grabbing them. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but there's always something. Again, there's 13 pages or something here. So I just got to get that thing updated with latest prices, and we should be all set with all of this.
Yep, we
should be all set for our trip to PRGE 2018.
Yes, very exciting.
We're very excited to go back.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing our friends and just having a great time.
Getting some games.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, hopefully we'll see you there. If you enjoyed the video, like us and subscribe.